What's up, folks? It's taking me a little bit to get back to this. There's a lot of stuff going on. But, yeah, we're going to be kind of going over the comparison between the two different, and it's not going to be huge, and some interesting things that I found when kind of slightly deep diving into these. Really, it was just something I thought needed adjusted on this initially. They got it started, and then I went ahead and did it on this one after what I found here. So anyway, okay, so I got the green one first, and I already did a review of it, but I really didn't take anything apart because I didn't need to. Everything seemed to work, except there was some feedback on the pickups, which we'll get to that. But I still never took it apart before I got this one. I mean, I just really liked that one, and I really felt like the pickup problem was just my lack of knowledge to do with active pickups and how to handle them, set them up in the amp and everything. But, so I liked everything else about it, despite a few little flaws, that I got another one because the price is just killer. I mean, okay, when Fulton Street Beats got his and 69 Stanger got his, they were like $199. That was great. After they got some good reviews from both of those, and we don't know if that was directly why it happened or not, but right after that, they jumped up to $209. Now, it's been a while. I mean, it's been since I got that one that they were $209, and they've remained at $209. Prices do fluctuate on Amazon, and we're talking Amazon prices here. At least I am. That's where I get most of them. I've checked the Leo Jaymz site sometimes when something would say it's out at Amazon, and generally Leo Jaymz site is out of things more than Amazon is. So I really don't even mess with it anymore. But back to these. So personally, I like them both a lot. And I kind of, it depends on the day, which one I think looks cooler. But I have to say, I think the yellow one looks cooler because they just got this different veneer or whatever that is on it. That's not like the flame maple that this one looks like it has. And, yeah. So this catches the eye a little better. Functionality, they're pretty much the same. They do have a slightly different tone, but I think there's a reason for that. The reason being is that I think that for some reason the yellow one has slightly thinner or smaller frets than the green one does, giving it a slightly different tonality. Because the pickups are set up exactly the same. The distance between the string and everything, or the height on them, exactly the same. I thought they were different, but I looked a little closer. They both have modern C-shaped necks. Yeah, that's all the same between the two. Now, if you watch the opening of the yellow one, when I opened it, I thought that the claw in the back needed loosened for the trim load to come up because it was all the way up against the wood. The springs were pulling it back so tight. But when I turned it off and I went to tune, I thought, you know what, I need to tune first and see what happens, because that'll pull a floating bridge up if it's tuned really low. Well, as I started tuning, I mean, it was super low. And I didn't pay attention to the E string, low E string when I first tuned it. But when I went to tune the A string, I noticed it was tuned to E. Then I went to tune the D string. It was tuned to A. Then I went to tune the G. Yeah. It was set up, I believe, like a baritone. All the strings were tuned what the next string should have been. From there on, like I said, I didn't pay attention to the E. I just know that the E was like off the charts low. I had to really crank it to get it up to E. And then, of course, like every one of these models, and anybody that's reviewed them has said, had to stretch those strings. To me, that's the sign of a good set of strings, because I actually like the strings on these too. But I mean, you really got to stretch them because they're going to continually go out of tune. But once I did tune them, they stay in tune. That green one stayed in tune great ever since I've had it. The yellow one, now that I've stretched the strings, yep. Also, it pulled that bridge up. But it pulled it up just a little too high. So I actually still had to take the back off in order to tighten the claw a little bit, to tighten the strings. And when I did, I discovered some things. Not super major, but there's where the flaws were. And I did take some video, and then I went ahead and took it off the back of this one, because when I tuned this one up, it pretty much leveled it out perfectly. And so I never took the back off. But I went ahead and did that, and then while I was there, I went ahead and checked to make sure my grounds were good, since I had feedback problems in that one initially. But again, I was running through a different amp than what I was doing with this one now. And different setup. So anyway, the point is that there's some defects. I got the video. I'll include them in this video. Still nothing that I'll be sending them back for. It's a $200 guitar. Yes, it's $209 plus tax now. It's still a $200 guitar. You round to the lower half, not the upper half, until it's past half. Anyway, math. This is about guitars. So, yeah, let's see. Trying to think if there's anything else that I haven't talked about yet. Oh, the nut. I'm not going to change the nut. Both of them did have nuts that don't quite come out on both sides, but it is centered. They're cut well. Does nothing to the playability of it. Does nothing to the tuning stability of it. I can still mess with the whammy bar all I want to, and it'll stay in tune. And that's the other thing. I do believe that the ball shredder is correct, and that it's graphite nut that comes with it. Because I have not heard one ping in all the tuning that I've had to do initially with these. Never heard it ping once. And the strings just slide easily, both directions when tuning. It's not like I have to T-tune way down and then tune back up. It really works and smoothly, tunes. And I think maybe that has to do with the fact that since it has a floating bridge, I don't know if any Wilkinsons have these, but a Floyd Rose, generally, you have a locking nut. These don't have locking nuts. I don't know if Wilkinsons, if any of them have locking nuts. But maybe one reason they don't is because they use graphite nuts, which makes the tuning stability a lot better. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Watch the little clips on when I took the backs off that I'm going to include here. And then I'm going to jam a little on something when I figure out what I want to jam to. So, I hope this helped anybody with their decision making. I do personally encourage anybody that wants to get it through Amazon. I say get it through Amazon. As long as you see that free returns, if there's something wrong with it, you're guaranteed to get your money back. You don't have any hassle in sending it back. But more than likely, I don't think you're going to get anything that's going to make you want to send it back. All right. And also, the action out of these, once you get it tuned up, the action is just fine. So I would actually maybe, if you've got somebody in your family that you think is a good guitar player and could really enjoy a guitar that's going to last, because these are stainless steel frets, that likes to play heavy metal and a wide variety, because really clean, these pickups are really good too. It's not just heavy metal. They're really good clean. Really good tone. This ain't a bad beginner guitar at all for the price, and then they'll be playing it forever. Just make sure, do a little research on a floating bridge. These are definitely not near as complicated as a Floyd Rose. So it's kind of something cool to start with if they like to use the weighing bar or want to learn any tricks. Again, this is just my opinion. Watch the rest of the little video. I don't like making these very long. So, all right. Y'all take care. God bless. Happy Easter.
Okay, so when I took the cover off, I did realize that if I tuned it up, it'd probably set that block right, and it almost does, but I unfortunately noticed some really bad mangling on the routing part. I'm going to try to show you. That right there is actually chipped off right in there. That's all almost like splinter wood for just a little slight layer. But I will say the rest of the wood is still pretty solid, so I'm not really too worried about it. But that was just shy, and this is kind of rough right here. But it hasn't, as I've been tinkering around, it's not squealed as much as the other one. So I'm kind of wondering if I need to take the other one off and make sure the ground's good on the other one. But, yeah. Yeah, this all looks kind of bubbly right here. So I definitely found some weak spots in the finish by taking that cover off. Which I never did on the other one. I may now. But unless I find something really bad in the other one, it's still not a game changer. I mean, it's still basically a $200 guitar. And for all the features, you can expect some kind of work. And stainless steel frets, come on. All right. All right, so interestingly enough, I just took the backing off of the green guitar, the green Tempest. And this is what I found. Oh, look. There's a chunk out of that part, too. The difference is this one's obviously had the whole chunk come out when it was routed. Maybe when they put those mounting holes in, because it's on both sides, it's just under the thing. That might have been what broke it off. Whereas the other one looked like it'd been finished on top of the thing splintering up. But yeah, that's a big chunky block there and everything. Everything looks tidy. And my ground looks to be good here. So, yep. Well, it's a $200 guitar that is otherwise pretty daggum good.